and welcome back to Munich City Airport in this new airport update here on Bongoplanes. We have a lot of traffic today going on today, some special visitors and some diversions, as you might already have guessed from the title of the video, but more on that a bit later. So, our setup today, we are at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So we have already had the first wave of aircraft from the Middle East, and now it's pretty much the second wave, which is more or less going out now step by step. So let's head over to the international terminal to take a look at the traffic we have there. And we start off with this Airbus A330-200 and the Manchester City Football Club livery of Etihad Airways. Now, this aircraft came in at 12:30 from Abu Dhabi, and of course we'll go back to Abu Dhabi in about half an hour, so it's in the middle of its preparations. Boarding should start very soon if it hasn't already. Right next to that we have a special visitor, this 747-400 from Qantas. Now, what is this aircraft doing here? It is basically doing a around the world farewell tour for the 747 of Qantas as they are retiring the aircraft. Now, it arrived from Singapore. It originally started in Melbourne, flew to Perth and then to Singapore. Now it is in Munich and will then continue to London Heathrow, from where it will then go over to the United States. But there's also a second reason for this special visit, and that is that Qantas is opening a route to Munich City Airport directly from Perth with their new Dreamliner, the 787-9. Next to the Qantas, we have this Airbus A340-600 from Qatar Airways in pushback. It came in from Doha 15 minutes past 12 and is now just about to leave back to Doha. Right next to that aircraft, we then have another 747. In this case, it is from Lufthansa in the Star Alliance livery. Now, this aircraft is also ready for pushback. The pushback truck is already at the aircraft here. The jet bridge still needs to be retracted, but that will happen as soon as the Qatar Airways has left, so that there's space for the aircraft. Now, the Lufthansa is flying on the rotation to Delhi in India. It came in at 12 o'clock and will leave as soon as it is possible. Next to the Lufthansa, we have an Airbus A330-200 from Eurowings. Lufthansa is reacting to the increased presence of low-cost carriers here at the airport and the potential arrival also of Norwegian long-haul aircraft. Now, this aircraft came in from Jamaica, from Montego Bay at 5 minutes past 11 and will depart 20 minutes past 3 in the afternoon to Phuket in Thailand. So still about an hour and 20 minutes for that departure. Next to that, we then have an Airbus A340-600 from Mahan Air. Now, this is suspiciously quiet around the aircraft. It came in from Tehran at 11:50 and it's supposed to leave in an hour. So they really need to pick up the pace if they want to leave on time. So that's it for the departures from the main terminal. Let's head over to our satellite terminal. As always, we start off with the non-Schengen departures. The first gate we can see is actually empty today. There is, of course, an arrival coming in a bit later. But the second gate here is occupied by this Embraer ERJ-190 from BA City Flyer. Now, this aircraft came in from Manchester about half an hour ago and is about to leave in 10 minutes. The pushback truck is already on scene, so I'm pretty sure they're also waiting for the Qatar to make way for them. Next to the BA City Flyer, we then have an Airbus A321-200 from Middle East Airlines. This aircraft is in full preparations. It is on the Beirut rotation going to Lebanon in about half an hour. All right, let's head over to the Schengen part of the satellite terminal. Here we have an Airbus A320-200 from Lufthansa. This aircraft came from maintenance, has been pushed over here. First preparations are started here with catering on the scene, and this aircraft will head back onto a rotation in 1 hour when it will go out to Frankfurt. Next to the Lufthansa, we then have a Swiss in prime position for the spotters here at the airport. This Airbus A320-200 is flying between Munich City Airport and Zurich and will go back to Zurich in about half an hour. So while the aircraft is being loaded, boarding is just about to start. Now let's head out to the field because we have many other arrivals and departures going on right now. For example, this 777-300ER from Kuwait Airways, which actually has been instructed to hold its position here just before the intersection. Now this aircraft has arrived from Zurich, and in 40 minutes we'll head back to Kuwait City. Now the aircraft will go into the stand where the Qatar Airways has been, so that is why it has to wait here for a little while. Also, of course, because there is another aircraft crossing the intersection. That's this little baby bus, the Airbus A318 from Air France, which has just arrived from Paris Charles de Gaulle, where it will return to in about 45 minutes. It's rather heading over to its stand, which is here right next to the Eurowings A319. This A319, well, it's a German wings, but operating for Eurowings. They have recently now finally abandoned their IATA letter code, so now only operating as Eurowings. It arrived at 12 o'clock from Cologne. Bonn has been waiting here now for a while because only in 1 hour it will be back out in service when it flies to Hamburg. A little more exotic destinations offered from this TUI Fly Boeing 737-800. It arrived from Corfu in Greece about 10 minutes to 1 and will go out in 15 minutes to Fuerteventura. Last passengers are boarding the aircraft and last preparations are being done here, so that aircraft should be pushed back any moment. Next to that we have a Eurowings A320-200, also in the Eurowings colors, as you can see. Now this aircraft came in from Palma de Mallorca about 20 minutes ago and will then head out to Düsseldorf in about 45 minutes. But let us continue our tour around the airfield because we have some more aircraft to talk about. Firstly, here an Airbus A320-200 from Spanish low-cost carrier Vueling. Now, this aircraft came in 20 minutes ago from Barcelona and will go back to Barcelona in about 35 minutes, so kind of in the middle of arrival and departure preparations. Then we have a stand right next to that where an arrival is going in right now, the E195 from Lufthansa Regional. It arrived from Bremen just now and will then go out in about 40 minutes to Nuremberg. Next to the Lufthansa Embraer jet, we then have a Norwegian Boeing 737-800. The passengers are going aboard right now. The aircraft really needs to leave very soon in 15 minutes time, so this will be a bit tight, probably will be a little bit delayed. It came in from Oslo, where it also will return to Oslo, of course, the capital of Norway. Next to that, we then have the Russian-built Sukhoi SSJ-100, the Superjet from CityJet. They're operating this aircraft for Brussels Airlines. The aircraft arrived only 10 minutes ago from Brussels. We returned to Brussels 35 minutes past 2, so passengers are still disembarking the aircraft. Then we have another arrival here taxiing along the taxiway in this Airbus A319-100 from Lufthansa, which just arrived from Bosnia and Herzegovina, or more specifically from Sarajevo, and will then in 45 minutes head back out to Stuttgart. Now we have some more special visitors here today. For example, this Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner from Uzbekistan Airways. It has just arrived from Tashkent. It's actually not supposed to be here at this airport. It's heading for Frankfurt, but due to severe thunderstorms over the airfield of Frankfurt, the airport has momentarily been closed. So a lot of aircraft are being diverted right now. Like, for example, this A380 from Qatar Airways. It arrived half an hour ago already. It's the first time there has ever been an A380 at the airport. There's no scheduled services with this aircraft type to the airport, but the airport is capable of taking A380s, at least on remote stands. Also waiting for continuing its journey to Frankfurt is this Air Malta A319, which has also been diverted here. And it looks like there are more aircraft headed for the airport, so the airport could very soon become very full. But anyway, let's head over to our furthest remote stands, because here we have two more aircraft. An Embraer ERJ-145 from Hop by Air France. This aircraft arrived only 10 minutes ago from Lyon, has just pulled into the ramp here, and the boss has just arrived, or is just coming around the corner here to take on the passengers and to bring them to the terminal. And then we have an Embraer ERJ 170 from S7 Airlines, the Russian carrier, which is flying in from St. Petersburg. It arrived earlier today, and it will return to St. Petersburg in about 40 minutes time. You can see the fuel truck is just about to arrive here to refuel the aircraft. And then before we reach the end of the video, let's quickly head over to the cargo center. Although it is not super busy right now, it's still too early. It will really pick up later in the evening hours. But we have a Boeing 767-300F from DHL waiting here. It arrived early this morning from Leipzig-Halle and will then late this evening head out to East Midlands in the United Kingdom. So that's all the traffic for this time. Obviously, I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have so, then do please feel free to leave a like. With that, you really support this series and it means a lot to me. Of course, if you're new around here, do feel free to hit subscribe. That would be absolutely awesome and you won't miss out on any future airport updates or other videos on my channel. Now, thank you very much for having stuck around all to the end of the video. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out and bye.